Hi, my name is Frank, and I collect secrets.
My secret is my name. I have a phobia of ketchup.
I've sent probably a dozen or two secrets, absolutely.
You know, actually, I have sent in a secret. I won't tell you.
I think a secret is something that you struggle with personally and can't share with anybody else.
Everyone has a secret, a fear, a hope, perhaps a memory long suppressed. Imagine emptying that burden onto a postcard to send it on its way. More than 500,000 secret keepers have done just that. A social network, a community that spans the globe. This is PostSecret.
My name's Frank, and I collect secrets. In 7 years, I've invited strangers from around the world to write down their deepest confession on a postcard anonymously and mail it to my home, and I brought some extraordinary ones to share with you guys here tonight. The PostSecret website today is the most visited advertisement-free blog in the world. And in 7 years, I've received over 500,000 postcards. Kathy, my mail carrier for 5 years, my favorite Kathy story, she told me one time she was delivering her mail about a mile from my house, and this woman on her route came running out with a PostSecret book saying, Kathy, Kathy, are you the PostSecret mail? You deliver these secrets to Frank every day? And Kathy said, yes, I do. Frank's on my route, and Kathy, being the generous soul she is, she said, you know, Frank's a good friend of mine. I can take your book to Frank and see if he'll, he might. And she said, no, Kathy, I want you to sign my book. Is it possible to fill up the screen with the image so it's the maximum size?
Yeah, we're gonna have to push forward.
Cleveland State University, but it could be any campus, any stage, anywhere in the world. Frank Warren has received hundreds of thousands of postcards from strangers who share their most intimate, closely guarded secrets.
Like almost every secret I get, there's a piece of artwork on the card, a photograph, a drawing, a collage, something that further conveys the emotion behind the secret. On the back of the card is my home address, a cancellation mark. This one came from Pasco, Washington. And so now I believe the reason I started PostSecret is because at a level beneath my own awareness, I was struggling with secrets that I needed to reconcile from my past, secrets that were haunting me. And PostSecret, through the courage and vulnerability of others sharing their secrets with me, allowed me to find that part of myself that I needed to know.
Cries of anger, notes of anguish. Seasoned with an occasional pinch of humor.
Here's the secret on the in and out bag. It says, hey Frank, I smuggled this food into the auditorium where you spoke. You were great, and so was my grilled cheese sandwich.
The PostSecret project grew out of an experiment. November 2004, Frank Warren, who had worked the midnight shift at a suicide prevention hotline in Washington, D.C., came up with an extraordinary idea.
I printed up 3,000 postcards, just like this. They were blank on one side, and on the other side, I printed a simple message. You're invited to anonymously contribute a secret to a group art project. Your secret can be a regret, fear, betrayal, desire, confession, or childhood humiliation. Reveal anything, as long as it's true and you've never shared it with anyone else before. After work, I'd get in my truck and drive to the dark streets of Washington, D.C., and walk those sidewalks, soliciting secrets from strangers. Yeah, it felt as weird as it sounds. Probably the most common reaction I got from people was people saying, I don't have any secrets. But I always made sure they took a card because they've got the best ones. I think the best secrets are the ones that have that ring of authenticity to them. Also secrets that are new and fresh that I haven't seen before. After a few 100,000 postcards, you would think they would get old or stale or repetitive, but no, I think in some ways our secrets are inexhaustible. There you go. Thank you. Hey, thanks for coming by too. I love it. With each book, I try and tell a different story with our secrets. So for example, the latest book is called PostSecret Confessions on Life, Death, and God. And in that book, I have some of the soulful, purposeful, heartbreaking secrets, but I also have some of the most silly secrets, secrets that struggle with our place in the universe, the mysteries of life, what our relationship with a God is. But sometimes they're just, laugh out loud funny.
Like some of those pet secrets.
I shouldn't be outing him, but I'm pretty sure he's gay. I sometimes think my dog looks like Kim Kardashian. It's the eyes for sure, I think.
PostSecret.com is an international community with no boundaries, a Sunday evening gathering place where followers anonymously share their innermost thoughts.
Every now and then I like to go on PostSecret to see if anyone's lives are more messed up than mine, and they usually are.
When I was sending secrets, it was a little hard to let go, but once they're gone, it's kind of refreshing to know that you have that weight off your shoulders, whether it's in one way or another.
I was sharing my secrets and having a conversation about it, and not only just telling people, but I was getting help, for myself to be a better person.
They know that they'll never be known, that it's completely anonymous, so that kind of gives them the freedom to say whatever they want and to really be able to let go on these things that they've been holding on to for years.
I'm really excited about actually getting the secrets from Frank and letting him share those with us. And then we'll go through kind of picking the ones that we think are going to animate the best and be the strongest.
Paul Fireman meets with his staff at Fireman Creative Studios in Pittsburgh. Specializing in video, web, and social media projects, the agency translates words and pictures from the page to the screen.
When I started working on this project, I thought that it might be around for a couple years. It seems like the legs of this project keep growing and growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that's really what's remarkable. I have worked with Frank on a lot of different kinds of projects, some of which are creating traditional videos, but then other pieces of the project that's really neat is working on concepts for apps and working on new ways to be able to inspire people when they're at a live PostSecret event.
The secrets have really led me to many different places and building relationships with many different people, whether it's coming together for the PostSecret app or working on the brilliant PostSecret videos that brought the secrets to life. It's really been a fascinating journey of how to find the best way to tell these remarkable stories. You're such a pro, I could hear you. We haven't heard from any guys. I want you to stay here. What do you think? I'm not taking over.
We are a really, really great marriage. One of the great things about working on the PostSecret project is that we really get to touch a lot of wonderfully creative ideas and get to share our creative energy for a project that really is impacting millions of people every single week. It's all user-generated content. People write down their secrets, they create a beautiful piece of art, and then they release it, they mail it into the PostSecret community. Frank Warren then receives those secrets, and then at that point it actually then becomes very collaborative as well, because when Frank decides that, oh, this secret is really unique, or this secret could be shared with a wider audience, he then selects to either place it on Sunday Secrets, so he actually publishes it to the blog, or he sometimes puts it aside and says, hey, this is a really interesting theme, and this is something that is unique, or this is something that touches on some other pulses that he's picking up on in terms of where the country is moving. For us here in Pittsburgh, it's really great because we then suddenly get to see these secrets as well, and we get to see the secrets that sometimes aren't published, or the secrets that will be published in the future, and then we get to add our stamp on what's going on just by one, our reactions to these secrets, how we're going to be able to manipulate the secrets to be able to, one, animate them, or two, make them more impactful, especially if we're building them into a video, so it's putting them in a different context versus just kind of looking at a static image. I think one of the biggest secrets is that we here in Pittsburgh are actually part of this whole project and are able to collaborate in such a big way, and that's a wonderful secret, and I think Pittsburgh's a secret.
Editor Jim DeSpirito creates a montage of postcard messages.
It's always a dance of finding, deep-rooted emotions in these secrets, and also, skirting the edge of what's presentable and what's not.
Every feeling we ever had, we said we'd remind each other when we'd forgotten.
Many of them are very happy and uplifting, and many of them are very depressing. And so we always try to find a nice mix of some powerful images or messages and put them in a presentable form, that with our goal being to bring forward the idea of the project.
We wanted to capture it so we could remember the lives.
How people perceive it, because the messaging is embedded in the cards, and the secrets are powerful as they're presented on the cards, so they speak for themselves, and we just put it in a nice creative package. One of the most exciting things about working on this project is seeing the response that's happened on YouTube. I mean, with our very first video, had over 1 million hits and probably had 300,000 hits within the first 72 hours. All the subsequent videos have gone over 1 million views. All of them have been well received in and outside of the PostSecret community.
The challenge we have is how do we be true to the secrets and true to the artists that are creating the secrets and telling their stories. And one of the ways we do that is actually we're very sensitive about the music that we use to complement the cards.
Much of that music is performed by a Pittsburgh band named Denora. Lead singer Casey Hanner, backed by her brother Jake on drums and Jake Churton on bass. Their song called Shush went viral on PostSecret and YouTube, while the album itself was still in production.
We're approached by Jim DeSpirito. He had heard some of the recordings we were recording for our first full-length album, self-titled album, and we had a version of Shush that he heard, and he was like, I'm working on this video, book promotion video. I had never heard of PostSecret at the time, and he said this song would be perfect. It's a Valentine's Day video, and we said sure, we'd be happy to let you use the song, and we're really glad we did, because the video turned out just incredible. I love watching it, and we were really happy to be a part of it. it was funny because we weren't prepared for all of the success that video had, and you know, we had no idea that it was going to be as huge as it was. And you know, the day that it debuted, our inboxes were just flooded with messages, people trying to buy our music, and we didn't even have anything to sell.
It's got everyone saying, oh, what's the matter with us? Oh, what's the matter? What's the matter? I like when we whisper soft to each other.
We want people to be able to listen to the music and feel like maybe they know us a little bit, which I think is sort of the concept of PostSecret too. You read it and you feel like you sort of know those people that are telling you their deepest, darkest secrets. You can kind of relate to them, and that's such a great feeling.
And then this is a PostSecret book. And you got this because you visited.
I found you.
Austin, Texas, scene of the prestigious South by Southwest Music, Film, and Interactive Festival. Creative director Paul Fireman chooses the capital city's fireman statue as the place to hand out invitations to fans of PostSecret.
One of the great things that happened just this year was going to South by Southwest with the PostSecret project. And for that project, we produced a video, but we also got to collaborate with a band from DC and with Frank Warren on creating this really incredible interactive experience. And it was really quite a great time, one, to be at a space with all of these creative people in Austin.
The first postcard that's all in black basically just has all of the different locations that Frank Warren's going to be speaking with the PostSecret live tour.
Frank selected me to be able to introduce the whole project, so that was really fun for me to stand up in front of a stage in front of thousands of people at South by Southwest and introduce this whole project that we've been working hard on for 7 years.
We're excited because we're here for PostSecret. The majority of us, I think, have been reading PostSecret for like, I don't know, years. I know I've been reading it for 5. It's on a website.
It's awesome to see like everyone coming together for this. So I'm excited to be here in Austin, Texas.
Hayes and Ryan Holiday, a band of brothers known as Blue Brain, shared the alternative music heard on PostSecret videos.
Is that what we're doing with this festival and here tonight falls a little bit more into the interactive category.
The response, of course, was interactive as audience members joined in with electronic devices of their own. The audience became the orchestra.
It's both my biggest fear and my greatest desire to find someone I trust enough to share all of them with. This is the second most common secret that I get. The most common secret that's mailed to me is, I pee in the shower. So for me, right now, the most exciting part of PostSecret are these PostSecret events held at performing arts centers and colleges and universities across the country, where I get a chance to not only show some of the secrets that have changed lives, that have rarely been seen before, that were banned by the publisher from the books, but I get to tell some of the inspiring and funny stories behind the secrets. Everybody here tonight has suffered, and you all have gifts. Many of you have gifts you don't even know about yet. Become the person who can share your gifts.
One by one, Cleveland State students step up to the microphone to share closely guarded secrets with friends, classmates, and the world.
Hi, my secret is my name. A few people know it, but not a whole lot of people. I got made fun of a lot during high school and middle school for being weird, and my name is pretty weird. So I tell everybody my name is Jess, because everybody thinks that my full name is Jessica, and it's not. My name is Jessamyn, Jessamyn. Now you all know it.
Hi, Jessamyn! And how sometimes when we think we're keeping a secret, that secret's actually keeping us. And it could be undermining our relationships with other people. It could be blocking us from being who we truly are, all in ways that we can't even recognize until we face that part of ourselves that we're hiding from.
Frank Warren has earned the title Most Trusted Stranger in America. The former suicide prevention hotline worker has expanded his reach.
Among us tonight, statistically, within the next 12 months, 80 of us here will think about ending our lives. And 35 of you, right now, are sitting by somebody who will actually try.
He receives chilling postcards like this one. Writers share messages of tragedy, admissions of guilt. Such writings hit very close to home.
I was kicked out of my house as a teenager, and I lost a friend and family member to suicide. I didn't find meaningful work in my own life until I was in my 40s. So I've learned to have patience with the world and patience with myself, because there is always hope. It just doesn't always come on the time schedule that we'd like it to.
A pivotal moment occurred when PostSecret received this card from California. When this card was posted on the website, a member of the PostSecret community created a Facebook page called simply, "Please Don't Jump." 60,000 people responded in the first week alone. San Francisco City Council proclaimed September 22nd as Please Don't Jump Day. And then PostSecret started getting cards like this.
We know what we can do to help. We know it works. We know that through early identification and intervention that can save lives. We know that by attacking the stigma of mental illness, the misconceptions about suicide that prevent young people from asking for help, we know that can save lives. We know that by sharing our feelings of depression or isolation before they wall us up, by sharing our secrets, that can save lives too.
Out of isolation comes hope.
And I think there is a sense of solace that can come, not just from taking ownership of your secret and sharing it, but also when you look at the project as a whole and you see dozens and hundreds and thousands of these soulful secrets, it makes you feel like whatever secret you might be carrying in your own life, maybe it's not that weird. Maybe somebody else would understand. Maybe none of us are really alone. When I was in the mental ward, I would look out the window a lot. Now, since I'm out, I ride my bike past the window every day and smile. There's hope.
Writers also share guilty little pleasures. This one likes to look at open windows of homes while driving past to feel like part of their world, if only for a second. On PostSecret, millions of others are sharing their world as well.
I would like to share my testimony with you tonight. It's not a religious testimony. It's something that took me over 40 years to learn, and something I wouldn't have believed if I heard it when I was your age. It's nothing very grand or lofty. It's just this. If I could go back in time to when I was younger and avoid the worst parts of my life, the deepest humiliations, the suffering, the painful failures, the humiliations, if I could sweep it all away, I wouldn't. I'd go through each one of those experiences again exactly as it happened. Even though when those things happened to me, they felt random, they felt arbitrary. But looking back on my life now, I can see how each one brought me to this moment, to this place, sharing this story with you. One of the most common secrets I get is a type of secret. A secret from someone, someplace on that journey, trying to find the one person who they can be their full and true selves with, who they don't have to keep any secrets from. And I see that secret expressed 100, 1,000 different ways, through different stories and through different secrets. And in some ways, I feel like PostSecret is just that placeholder, you know, that surrogate for that person until they find the person, that special person who's waiting to be found by them. If you feel like you don't have anybody you can share your secret with, you can always write it down on a postcard and mail it to me. Thank you.